What's up, MEGO fans? What's up, Conan fans? Welcome back to another edition of M.I.B. Master Museum. I am your curator for today. Guys, we'll be covering one of my favorite superheroes, if you can call him that. He was called a lot of things, and we'll get into that. But we are more familiar with Conan the Barbarian from the early 1980 motion pictures starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, who truly owned that Conan persona, that character. I mean, you think Conan, you think Arnold. So let's get in on our star here. This was a MEGO original release in 1976, and Figures Toy Company replicated this figure to the T. Everything from facial expression, head sculpt, hair, real hair. And that was a hard selling point, being a kid growing up in the 70s. We didn't want our action figures to have real hair because my sister's Barbie dolls had real hair. But it was Conan, so it was okay. It was okay. It was Conan, so he could have real hair. That's just the way I felt, though. Get in there. Look at just a menacing, mean face, gritting his teeth. I mean, and this guy came with some, his fair share of accessories. You can't see him. They have him in his back, packed in the back of him. There's his sword sheath. Everything, every detail, to the gauntlets on his wrist, the belt around his waist, everything has been replicated by Figures Toy Company. They spared no expense with this figure. This is a really cool figure. I know a lot of people have this figure, and I've seen some great reviews. I think Count Stankus did an excellent review on Conan and a few other figures from this particular set. We want to kind of delve deeper into Conan. We want to make it all about Conan today. Let's turn the box around. And here's some other figures we'll be covering down the road as well. And that's Solomon Kane, and there's Conan, and this is Kull, the Conqueror. And here's the gentleman that created Conan and these other characters. Robert E. Howard. Robert E. Howard created Conan. And Conan's first appearance, I believe, was in Strange Tales of Mystery and Terror. Don't think that comic, I would buy that comic book today, and that came out June of 1932. Strange Tales of Mystery and Terror. If I saw that as a kid on the magazine shelf, I definitely would buy that book. Really, just a cool title, cool character, and Conan has been around for a very long time. Robert E. Howard gave Conan's background, though. He was a Sumerian, and who were really are based on the Celts. His, he was practically born on a battlefield. So Conan really only knew violence and destruction and conquering. So you could say it was really in his DNA code, his genetic code. He was built for this. He was built to be a true barbarian. And yet, what was not really mentioned a lot in some of the comics was Conan's IQ level was off the charts. He was a systematic fighter. He would study his situation first before attacking, which made him a great leader of men. And yet he fell into, leaving as a kid. He was about 15. He was considered one of the best warriors. So he struck out on his own for the most part. He struck out on his own and got into a lot of stuff. And this is how Robert E. Howard pretty much wrote Conan's background. He was a thief. He was an outlaw. He was a mercenary. You could hire Conan. And so you look at Conan and say, oh, but he was a good guy. When needed back then, when needed. Definitely would save the damsel in distress, the young ladies. He definitely, Conan had chivalry about him. He would protect the women at all costs. Even if it meant Conan losing his life, he would protect a woman's life. And I think that's what all gentlemen should do, guys. But by his 40s, he had conquered to such a high degree and level that he was made king. And that was Robert E. Howard's, that was his insight on Conan. Now, when Robert E. Howard passed away, the Conan character and rights and storylines changed hands a lot. And Marvel Comics finally got a hold of Conan the Barbarian and gave him his own comic book in 1970 of October. Conan the Barbarian issue number 1 appeared on comic book shelves. So, and Conan's run lasted for a great deal of time. I mean, I think that if I'm not mistaken, that comic book lasted all the way to 1993. So Conan had a good stint, a nice long stint. And still is to this day one of my favorite MEGOs. I didn't own this MEGO as a kid. Saw him, heard about him. As I got older, heard about him on the secondary market. Couldn't get him. He's very expensive. Very tough to find. If you find him on card, and definitely if you find him in a box, he came in a box as well, you're gonna definitely look to spend a lot of money. He's got blood on his battle axe there. Look at that. That's phenomenal. But Figures Toy Company brought this guy out. I've had my Conan for about a year now, and just completely in love with this figure. Just a cool figure. And guys, believe me, this figure is worth it. He's gonna, collectability wise, he's gonna hold his collectability. Right now, he is sold out, and this product has been retired from Figures Toy Company. There are a few websites that you can go to. Emerald City Comics still sells Conan, but I don't know how many, as of this taping, I don't know how many they have left, you know. So you want this guy. Let's get in a great headshot of him. You want Conan because he's selling like hotcakes, guys. I mean, really, the all three of those figures that we covered on the back are sold out. They've been retired. That's how popular these figures are. And Conan is definitely was one of the top figures. He's the most popular figure. And for that reason, I think, you know, that I don't think they produce. Figures Toy Company, once again, this is geared towards the collectors. They want the collectors to be able to buy these and purchase these figures, with the knowledge that they're going to maintain and increase in value and collectability. And Figures Toy Company it is a very, very smart and intelligent move on Figures Toy Company's part to do it like that. So these are limited runs, very small runs of these figures, and it's making it very difficult to get these guys on the secondary market. And if you find these guys on the secondary market, like eBay, and we talked a little bit about eBay yesterday in another review, you run the risk of trying to outbid somebody or paying a price on a figure that's just extremely too high. But I digress. Last shot here of the famous Conan, that famous logo. Guys, I want you to sit back, enjoy the rest of these shows that we will be putting out. Get you a cup of coffee, sit on the couch, relax. We're going to keep this train moving for you. The entertainment is just starting. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and thought it was insightful and entertaining and has some form of wow factor to it. Come on back. Subscribers, we love you guys to death. Thank you so much for the support that you've given us. And as always, guys, you know the drill. Keep collecting.